I'm Adam Bergman, tax attorney, multimillionaire, and founder of IRA Financial, and I'm sharing why HSAs might be the most powerful investing account out there. I'll cover the best strategies for your HSA in a bit, but first, an HSA or health savings account is a super tax advantage account designed for an individual that is covered by an HDHP or a qualifying high deductible health plan. I will explain HDHPs a little more in a second. HSAs allow you to spend money on qualified medical expenses, which range from band-aids to back surgery to nursing homes. I've actually used this personally for things like doctor visits, dental checkups, prescriptions, and even a chiropractor. I'm still young now, but in the future, I don't want to burden my children with my medical expenses. So my HSA will cover all of it for me. If it's a medical expense, you can use the money in your HSA to pay for it. The reason why it's so powerful is because of the triple tax advantage. That means that 1, HSA contributions are tax deductible. 2, your money grows tax-free. And 3, you pull your money out tax-free. That's 3 times the tax savings. Even the most powerful retirement account, the Roth IRA, only has a 2 tax benefit. The fact that an HSA grows tax-free means you need to invest it properly so you can fully take advantage of being able to pull it all out tax-free. HSAs are typically confused with FSAs or flex savings accounts. So let's clear that up. FSAs are employer sponsored and your contributions are made through payroll deductions. So it's also tax deductible. But unlike an HSA, FSAs are employer controlled. So it's not portable and there are strict spending deadlines. Like an HSA, you can invest your FSA money in stocks and traditional assets. Unlike an HSA, you can invest in real estate, gold, crypto, or private equity. So you're stuck with the investment options your employer approves. Long story short, FSAs are good for short-term stuff like medical, dental, or vision expenses. Health expenses you know you're going to need every year versus money you're going to need in 20 years as you age. And because of that, smart investors treat HSAs like a long-term investment account, which allows your money to grow exponentially more when you invest it correctly. I'll talk more on investment strategy later on. Every American should have an HSA because whether you admit it or not, we all grow old. But before you open one, here's how you can qualify for an HSA, what disqualifies you, and some rules around it. The first thing you need to know is if your health insurance is an HDHP, or a high deductible health plan. Around 40% of Americans are actually covered by HDHPs. This means your health insurance deductible needs to be between $1,700 and $8,500 per year. For a family, your insurance deductible needs to be between $3,400 to $17,000. Check your insurance deductible, and if it falls in those ranges, you're eligible to open an HSA and make contributions. If you have a qualified HDHP and have income, you can contribute to an HSA. The only 2 things that can disqualify you from an HSA are 1, you can't be enrolled in Medicare, and 2, you can't be claimed as a dependent on a tax return. Next thing you need to know is your contribution limit. For 2026, individuals can contribute up to $4,400 in their HSA. For a family, you can contribute up to $8,750. But this number increases annually to adjust for inflation. And if you're over 55, you get an additional $1,000 catch-up contribution each year. What's great about HSA is that there are no income limitations to contributions. Even if you make $1 billion a year, you can still make an HSA contribution. Also, HSAs don't expire and you can pass it on. After you pass away, your spouse can inherit the HSA tax-free, just like an IRA. When your spouse passes, you can leave it to your children or a non-spousal beneficiary. For non-spouses, the beneficiary will need to pay taxes when they pull the money out. This is different than leaving money to your kids in a Roth IRA, which children can inherit and use tax-free. I cover all the different retirement accounts like Roth, SEP IRA, solo 401ks, and the best retirement strategy in this video. It's linked in the description. Taxes are where most people leave serious money on the table when it comes to their retirement. And the HSA is the single most powerful tool in the tax code to fix that. That's all because of the triple tax advantage. If you compare an HSA to other retirement accounts, from a tax perspective, an HSA wins every time. A 401k and a traditional IRA gives you just the deduction and a deferral. A Roth gives you just the deferral and the tax-free exit. The HSA gives you all 3 simultaneously. There's nothing else like it. That is why, as a tax attorney, I put it above everything else. The only time that taxes can pop up with an HSA is with unqualified plan withdrawals. If you pull your money out for an HSA before you're 65 for a non-qualified medical expense, you will get hit with a tax and a 20% penalty. That can be pretty painful. Things happen in life, I get it. but you want to pull from other accounts first. Pulling from your HSA for non-medical purposes before 65 is one of the most expensive financial mistakes you can make, and it completely defeats the purpose of what you're building. If you're over 65 and want to use the funds for something entirely unrelated to healthcare, you simply pay ordinary income tax on the withdrawal with no penalty attached, which effectively makes the HSA behave like a traditional IRA at that stage of life. If you want to go even deeper on this before we get into the strategy, we just published a full breakdown on the IRA Financial blog about how a self-directed HSA can double as a stealth retirement account. The link is in the description below. The most powerful thing about an HSA is that you can invest it and how you invest it. That triple tax advantage money can grow in the market and in private investments, all tax-free. An HSA provides you with a lot of flexibility. There's no minimum cash requirement you need to keep in your HSA. You can go fully invested or keep it in cash. But keeping in cash is the biggest mistake you can make. With inflation, every year the US dollar losing value, you're literally losing money if it sits in cash. You need to invest it. You can invest it all in traditional investments like stocks, ETFs, and mutual funds. But the way to let it grow even more is by investing in alternative assets like real estate or crypto, gold, private equity, hard money loans, and much more. These investments are where you are going to see the most growth with your dollar over time. And the math bears that out. Even at a conservative 10% return every year, if you max your contribution starting at age 30, you'll start with $4,400, contribute around $200,000 over time, and your HSA will grow to around $1.6 million by the time you're 65. What you actually want to do is treat your HSA the same way the wealthiest investors treat their portfolios. You want to boost those returns and truly diversify. The best way to do that is with the new 60-40 investment strategy, which builds your portfolio with 60% in alternative assets, 40% in equities. In an upcoming video, I will break down the new 60-40 investment strategy in more depth and how it can benefit more than just your HSA. This strategy is what billionaires, college endowments, and many of IRA Financial's wealthiest clients are already using. So make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You do not want to be conservative. You do not want fixed income or bonds, especially if you are under 65. You want this account to grow. Healthcare costs are rising every year. At some point, you, your spouse, or both of you are going to need serious medical care, and that is going to cost real money. The good news is that when you are in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you are probably not going to need to tap into this account very much. During that period, you should be aggressive. You should be in alternatives, and you should be pushing beyond what the S&P 500 can generate in returns. While alternatives can carry more risk, they are your growth engine. They carry long-term returns and illiquidity to help stabilize your future runway. The extra returns you generate in alternatives far outweigh the short-term volatility you take on. True diversification protects you far more over time than sitting in bonds that are quietly getting eaten alive by inflation every single year. If you want easily accessible money in your HSA, your 40% in equities can help. That 40% serves as a great way to have money activated in the market and gaining some returns. But they can easily be sold for necessary medical expenses, all while your 60% in alternative assets continues to be harder to liquidate and is still getting larger returns. So when the time comes and you need those HSA funds, you still have a substantial cushion to work with. That is a strategy I use for my HSA, and it's the exact same strategy that all my millionaire and billionaire clients use. If structured the right way, your HSA can use alternative assets to supercharge your retirement. That is why I founded IRA Financial 16 years ago. I wanted to give everyday investors the same control and flexibility the ultra wealthy have always had. If you want to help setting up an HSA, a self-directed IRA, or any other retirement account, that is exactly what we do at IRA Financial. We have a team of tax lawyers and experts like myself who will get you into the right structure, walk you through opening your account, show you how to transfer funds tax-free, and help you invest in what you actually want. You can book a free consultation through the link in the description below. When it comes to actually getting paid from your HSA, the mechanics are simple, but the strategy behind when and how you pull the money out is what separates investors from those who just use it like a debit card for doctor visits. Any HSA withdrawal for a qualified medical expense, whether that is a doctor visit, a dentist, a prescription, or a long-term care, comes out completely tax and penalty free. You need documentation connecting the expense to the qualified medical cost. like a doctor receipt or a prescription record. Once that is submitted to the HSA custodian, IRA Financial, you'll reimburse shortly thereafter. But the real strategy is to not touch any of your HSA money unless you have to. Instead of reimbursing yourself every time a medical expense comes up, you pay those costs out of pocket. Save every receipt and invoice and pull a larger lump sum at a point of time after you've allowed your money to grow, because the IRS does not require you to reimburse yourself in the same year the expense occurred. That means you can accumulate years worth of receipts and take one clean, well-documented distribution later on. The longer that money stays invested and untouched in the HSA, the more it compounds returns tax-free. It is always better to spend taxable money on current expenses and let the HSA keep building. For example, say you have $10,000 in your HSA and a $5,000 medical bill comes up. If you have the personal funds to cover it, you pay out of pocket. Keep the receipt and let that $10,000 keep growing tax-free. Not everyone has that flexibility. And if you do not have the personal liquidity to cover the expense, use the HSA, because that is exactly what it's there for. But if you can, let the HSA keep growing tax-free. I even do this. I have been investing my HSA aggressively in crypto for years. And my wife and I have been covering our medical expenses entirely out of pocket. I have pulled only a few $1,000s from the HSA itself because thankfully, we have stayed healthy. That money has just been sitting there compounding untouched, tax-free in the HSA. I've had many clients over the past decade build up substantial HSA balances this same way. Their account values look strong, they're healthy, and those funds are going to serve them and their spouses in future years in an extraordinarily tax-efficient way. That is exactly how your HSA is supposed to work. You build it, you protect it, you let it grow. And when the time comes, every dollar you pull out for medical expenses costs you zero in taxes. There is no other account in the tax code that gives you that. If you're covered by a high deductible health plan and you're not using an HSA aggressively, you are leaving money on the table. Money that could one day save your life and your retirement. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.